And the Spurs start out with the ball. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Portis is out there with Dunleavy. And it's Gasol. And at the center, locking down the middle. And guys, as a second-round pick, Danny Green was once an afterthought out of North Carolina. Now, he's one of the most dangerous three-point shooters in the league.
You're right, Kevin. Throughout last season, and 42% from beyond the arc for his career, and great consistency, too. He's been over 41 every season for the past 4.
That's good. Now, here's Rose. Outside Butler. Dunleavy up top. Covered by Duncan. Right side Gasol. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Green. Parker passes to Leonard. Here's Duncan. His second shot goes in. Off to a good start. 2 for 2.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
From 7 and off the front iron, and in it goes. Here's Parker. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Pass to Aldridge. Outside Leonard. From 11 feet away. Second chance shot. And Duncan lays it in. Duncan's got 6.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
Here's Dunleavy. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Finds himself wide open and drills it.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Here's Aldridge. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And Clark, they might as well keep doing it. I mean, attack the basket until the defense makes an adjustment.
Here's Green, following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Green kicks to Duncan. From 11 feet away, can't hit. Some solid defense from Gasol. Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Here's Duncan. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Here's Portis. Back to Butler. Shot clock at 5. Puts it up from 12. Uses the glass to drop it in. Butler's got 7 points in the game.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly, eventually pulled it together, and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
Now, here's Aldridge. And there's the 3-second violation. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Here's Rose. They trail by 3.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs. Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are. Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Bulls trail by 4. To the middle. The layup off target.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
The 3 from Anderson. Chicago grabs the miss. Talking about Pau and brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect. So detractors are much harder on him when they see cracks, I think, Greg, in his game.
Yeah, you know, for Marc Gasol, it can only exceed expectations because they started out so low. I'd simply say that if I had to pick between one or the other for best career, I'd do everything I could to pick both.
Good way to get out of it. Good answer.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season, he shot career lows from the field and behind the arc after having one of his best ever campaigns the year before. That really just makes a coach pull his hair out, and fortunately for me, I don't have any.
Butler puts up the baby hook. Portis, the pass to Dunleavy. Gasol dishes to Butler. Gasol kicks to Butler. Great D that time from Martin.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
Now here is Martin. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. 23 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And Gasol slams it in.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Martin attacking.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says thank you very much and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you.
And Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, very demanding. Throughout the years, he was hardest on his point. Even though it seems like that was a very long time ago now, to hear Tony Parker talk about it now still sounds very fresh to him.
Did he acknowledge, Kevin, that he cried?
It sounds like it, yeah.
The game made him cry. That's one of the things fans forget about with professional athletes. No matter how successful they get, players never forget that pain and frustration or those other emotions they've gone through to help get them to where they are.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for Chicago right now, Butler team to Dunleavy on the perimeter. Pau Gasol is out there with Portis, and it's Rose in at the one spot. Back to Butler. He feeds it to Dunleavy. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Butler kicks to Dunleavy, and stolen by Aldridge. Parker against Rose. With the teardrop, no luck.
Boy, he blew the easy two by profiling, trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. What Popovich said last year, he feels it might actually be the case.
Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Green. Leonard with no one around. And a miss there on the triple. Bulls trail by 5. Rose passes to Gasol. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Gasol's got 10 points in the game. You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
Spurs on defense. 3-point lead. Ginobili kicks to Leonard, and Butler sends it back. To the inside, and there's Gasol. That's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 3 assists in the game. The Spurs have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Plays it up and banks it in. And the Spurs lead by 3.
That was a nice finish to an excellent possession.
Portis, the pass to Dunleavy. Pass to Portis. There's the 3. Rebound by Parker. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Here's Ginobili. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And now a 5-point San Antonio lead. And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
You know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
And it's Butler missing.
Nice effort on the alley-oop, but probably not a good choice.
Yeah, it looked good initially, but then broke down just as quickly.
No good from Duncan.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
The Spurs have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. To the paint. Stolen. And he lobs it up. Very pretty alley-oop layup.
How nice was that alley-oop? Those two really have a good connection.
Yeah, read each other so well. It's a play I'm sure, Clark, they love to run.
And as a receiver, though, he doesn't necessarily feel the need to go for that monster finish. Just the nice little silky smooth layup. And talking about Tony Parker, Pop's tough love with him really paid off. Tony eventually became incredibly consistent, culminating with him being named the Finals MVP back in '07.
Ginobili, that's good. Ginobili's got 4 points in the quarter.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting. His rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. The Bulls also changing it up. Mirotic is checked in for Portis. Doug McDermott comes in for Dunleavy. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Mirotic gets the bucket.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
1:02 left in the first half. Here's the screen. Mills, that's a 2-pointer. And it's San Antonio with another.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
Anderson's shot is off.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it.
They have a 2-for-1 situation if they go quick.
Yeah, I don't think they have to rush, though, Greg. Just need to find a good shot this time.
Gasol dishes to McDermott. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Mirotic, the screen. Moore outside. Butler in the corner. 6 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
9 seconds left to play in the first half. Mirotic has a wide open look. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Mirotic has got 5 points in the quarter. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Cameo song, Back and Forth.
And the first half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. Pau Gasol has been getting it done. He had 12 points, 2 assists, and 1 block. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. And Kenny, that wraps it up for halftime as the game is just about to get.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Gasol doing all sorts of things. He has 12 points, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
And you can't undervalue the importance of that. Many times a game comes down to which team wins the free throw battle.
Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the center position. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. And Leonard gets it to go.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
That's a great point. 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed have come at the rim.
Parker's shot is off.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Here's Butler. Connects on the 17-footer. Butler's got the lead up to 3 now for the Bulls.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
To the paint, here's Duncan, and he uses the glass on the layup. Duncan's got 12 points in the game.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Butler, again, Chicago.
Boy, they're getting into a real groove from inside the three-point line, knocking down those mid-range jump shots.
8 of their last 10 have come from the mid-range.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in this game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award, really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. McDermott comes in for Dunleavy. And it's Butler missing. Spurs trail by 3. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through Tim Duncan. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
Thanks, Doris.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just 1 in the first.
Rose against Parker. Duncan with the screen for Parker. The dish to Leonard. Shoots. Breaks a big height bounce and goes in. Leonard's got 8 points.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
Butler attacking. Outside Gasol. Here's Mirotic. Gasol kicks to Mirotic. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Such a wide open look. And the Bulls lead by 3.
Wow, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Aldridge a screen. Parker passes to Green. Back to Parker. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. And another basket for San Antonio.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Butler against Parker. Butler attacking. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
Chicago making a switch here. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Martin goes in. Chicago grabs the miss. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Kevin Martin on the wing. From the corner. There's the bucket. Good. Martin's got his second basket.
It's amazing how Martin makes shots like that look so simple.
Holiday attacking. He dishes it to Mirotic. No luck. West with some nice D. San Antonio trailing here. Feeds it to Anderson. And that misses. That would have put him up. For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. McDermott, no one around him, drains the three-pointer. McDermott's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
Mills dishes to West. Pick by West. It's Anderson with the drive. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Right side Holiday. We've got 33 seconds left to play here in the third. Brooks with no one around. No good on the three. San Antonio's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And Mills kicks to Martin. 15 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Clock at 6. And here's Mills. Not enough on that one as it misses. He gets it up. And he drains the three, but let's see. They may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. Well, we thought the third quarter was over, but it turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
Yeah, that's a tough call there with the naked eye. Fortunately, the league's replay center able to slow it down.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. Leonard, the pass to West. The score now all even. West has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Spurs. Well, Chicago's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. To the middle. Back to Moore. Brooks from outside. It's rebounded by Aldridge. And San Antonio shooting at 51%. Really solid. Mills with it. With the floater, here's West. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. And the Spurs lead by 2.
It's as if the defenses have just given up.
Yeah, you know, the pace has only picked up the deeper we've gotten into this game, which is remarkable. It speaks to the endurance and stamina of these teams, and it's also been a lot of fun to watch.
Chicago calls timeout. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He's looking for whatever they have left in the tank. He said, I know it's been a hard-fought game, but now's not the time to leave anything in reserve. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I expect you to be going all out, full speed. Guys?
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
Here's Leonard. Again, Leonard missing. Bulls trail by 3. Rose kicks to McDermott, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Shooting one.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for San Antonio.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
You know, something else I've noticed is just how many of their baskets have been set up by assists throughout the game.
Duncan with the screen on Mirotic. Parker dishes to Duncan. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. And finished off by McDermott.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed, Clark.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, actually excellent talent to make it special, and that combination is a winning one.
Green, the pass to Parker. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. And it's off from three-point range. Bulls trail by 4. And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. And it's Butler with the jam.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And guys, mark that play right there, because that could be the one that leads to a surge to break this thing wide open.
Back to Green. Kicks it out to Leonard. Dishes to Parker. 5 on the clock. No good. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Mirotic the pass to Gasol. He lobs it up, trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. And the wide-open shot from Green. A three-pointer is right on target. And the Spurs lead by 5.
Defensively, they can't afford to back off of him that much. You don't want to be giving up easy threes, especially at this stage of the game.
Here's Gasol. It's Chicago with another bucket. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Parker outside. Pass to Aldridge. Unloads from 9. Rebound by the Bulls. Mirotic has got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Butler, and a strong finish with 2 hands.
No way to mess that one up, Kevin. I mean, he powered it down with both hands.
Not this guy. He is a superb finisher.
And when he gets near the hoop, guys, he is a tour de force.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They lead by 1. 1:57 left here in the 4th quarter. Aldridge kicks to Parker. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for McDermott. 1:52 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Rose dishes to Dunleavy. Kicks to Mirotic. Over in the corner, Rose to tie it up. And the rebound goes to Duncan. Duncan's got his 5th rebound in this one. Leonard attacking, and it's off the back rim, no good.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag it.
Good ball movement here by the Bulls. For 3, Dunleavy. And the rebound goes to Duncan. Duncan's got his 6th rebound on the night. Leonard lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Now it's a 5-point Spurs lead.
He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Dunleavy, the pass to Butler. The feed to Dunleavy. Shoots. Great D that time from Leonard.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it. It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
And that's an intentional foul. And the Bulls making a change here. Portis is checked in. Inside. And Green with the basket on the assist by Parker. And the Spurs lead by 7.
And really, with every point from this point on, it seems like they're just closer to finishing this one off.
If they haven't already done it. I mean, hey, it's been a tremendous all-around performance from this group. I don't think there's any question about that.
And they go to the intentional foul. He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
Puts up a 3. It's in! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Yeah, it's such a sweet 3-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
And he does get the second one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And the Bulls with possession. Rose kicks to Butler. From outside, off the mark. Guys, we have seen them with a lot of good ball movement.
Well, you like the smooth operating they're showing you here. I mean, things are clicking, and more importantly, it makes them tough to defend.
Clark, what you know about Sade? Smooth operator, but I agree with you. I think we're all seeing that right now.
Yes, indeed.
From deep 3-point range, Butler can't get that one to fall, and so they choose to intentionally foul. Gets the first, and that increases their lead to 6. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 7-point game. Chicago calls timeout. They're behind by 7. 8 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And look, this one's out of reach. I don't know what they're thinking with this timeout.
Neither do I. I mean, maybe they're going over their plans for after the game. Who knows? But let's just get out of here.
And so it's San Antonio with the win. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
David, obviously a very productive second unit. How does that change?
The 2K